My shooting board has seen a lot of use over the years, and it's time to retire it. So the idea of the Cosman style shooting board is that it's got a bit of a concavity on the top face, so that when you're putting pressure on the shooting board, it flattens itself out. And what the idea is basically that by doing that, it keeps the plane blade 90 degrees to the work that you're cutting. And if you had a convex shape, it would tend to ride across the convex curve and be a bit more wobbly. So what we're going to do is we're going to check which side of this MDF is the flatter, or the concave side, sorry. And we'll just give it a bit of a spin. Looks like it might be the one that's on the bottom, but let's try the other side as well. Now, see how it spins that much quicker or more easily on this side? That means that along its length here, there is a curve, and that this side is convex and this is concave. So this side here is going to be the top side of the base, and then my other piece will be put on here like so. And we're just going to exaggerate that concavity a little bit by putting some tape on the bottom. So what we'll do is we will measure off about 300, because this is 600mm long. We'll put some in the middle, and we'll put a couple of strips about 100mm from each end. Just using the framing where we will just draw a line across so I can see where I'm supposed to be putting tape. And when we're finished, after the glue up is done, we will be taking the tape off so that when we put pressure on the plane, the board will straighten out again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 layers across the middle, and one and one.
Thank you for watching this video. If you like what you are watching, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. This will help YouTube share the video with others.
I think in Rob's video he did more. So when it comes to the glue up, I'll be putting some glue on this face for the top, putting it in a position, and then I'll be using a couple of brad nails just to hold it in position while I put the clamps on. This glue isn't anything fancy, it's just it's Aquadia, which I buy from Bunnings. It's just a PVA glue, and it's not waterproof, so it's not something you'd use outside, but for this application it's probably fine. But not too close to that edge, because I don't want it spilling out to where my plane's going to run. So that just means clean up that I don't really want to do. Flip it over. All we're going to do is just take the machine marks off the cleat. is we're going to glue this cleat on bottom. The face side I'm going to glue down first with the face edge forward. And then we'll just clamp it on while we wait for it to dry. So we'll take the clamps off, and then we'll put some screws in from the top through the MDF and into the jarrow, so they bite into the jarrow, not the MDF. 50, 150, 250. Want them countersunk so that the head goes below the MDF. Set the fence by using my plane hard up against the side of the ramp part of the shooting board. Face edge goes up against this clamp, and I'm going to set it back about 75 mils. The reason for that is what I don't want to be doing is sort of, if you can imagine, so I'm using the shooting board, what I don't want it to do is to sort of come out a little bit and then flip around the end. It might cause a few problems. It might not, but if I put a 75 mil gap at the back like that, then my plane is always going to go straight through. It's never, whereas if I had it right on the back, there's potential for it to sort of come away from it. So set my plane in place, move my fence up to the 75 mil mark, and with a very fine pencil, once I've got it aligned with the other square, I'm just going to put a small reference mark so I know where to come back to. It's a bit more than small, but it'll do. I'm going to put some glue on and then let it sit. I'm going to hold it in place for a little while whilst the glue first goes on and starts tacking up. Once it's tacked up a bit, I'll then put some clamps on. And once it's had 20 minutes or so to dry, then I'll come and drill some screws just like I did for the cleat. Again, I don't want the glue getting too close to the front, because that'll affect the operation of the shooting board. We'll put that down on that line we've already previously marked. And then I'll bring the plane into place. And then I'll get square in place. And then we'll stick in the feeler gauge, push it back, make sure it's all square. And now I'll hold it. I do have a kettlebell here somewhere. I probably could use that. Don't know why I didn't think of that beforehand. Put my 12 kilo kettlebell on it. It's been sitting in the... And that's still nice and flat. Try and make a start on getting rid of some of this glue. Because once it sets up, I won't be able to get it off. Now we're going to put the screws in at the bottom. Now, if you recall, the fence was 75mm from the end, and it's 40mm wide, so we can make them right on the 95mm mark. Like we did on the cleat, we'll do 50, 150, 250. Use the same screws as before, same type of screws as before. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break it in. And what that's going to do is it's going to put that small rebate in the shooting board. And this will allow plane blade to cut. Now it's not going to be very big. And once it's cut in, shooting board will be good to use. And if I turn this around, see that there is a line forming here. And that's where the blade has taken away some of the shooting board. It will only do that for the depth of the blade, because this bit at the bottom is where this part of the plane runs. So it will never keep going in, it will always be running up and down that line. Now that it's made, what we're going to do is test that it actually works properly. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take this board, I'm going to flatten one edge, and then I'm going to put that flat edge up against the fence, and I'm going to square this end to this edge. To do this, I'm just going to use the shooting board itself for both parts. It doesn't matter whether in the first instance it's 90 degrees here, because all I want is to make sure that this edge here is straight. And just to be sure, I'm going to use a pencil just to put some marks on. And once they're all gone, then I know this is flat. Pop it back on the shooting board. So that's all nice and flat now. Now I'm going to put it up against the fence so that I can square this edge. And you can see off my plane I've got a fair bit of work to do, but that's okay. Now I've got it fairly close, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a small nick off this corner so that when I get rid of the nick here, then I know it's done. And that will prevent chip out or tear out on the back. Back over, pop it up against the fence. It should only take a couple of strokes to get it clean now. Okay, and that's gone. We put my square up against the edge, nice and square. So you can see that a shooting board is very easy to make, and it's such a practical tool, especially on small pieces. You can use it to square up an edge and then make a 90-degree corner to that with another edge. And with the addition of some simple fixtures onto your shooting board, you can do miters for picture frames, and you can also do miters for boxes. Although I prefer to use my 45-degree shooting board, which I made specifically for that purpose. I encourage you to make your own and learn how to use them. Hope you found this video interesting. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can also support me financially through Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, or PayPal me. There are links in the description below. Check out these playlists over on the left here. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.